If you think about human brain versus internet network, not all of what we do can be replaced by AI.
He's thinking about the future. And that's no surprise. He built Rakuten by betting on it long before others did.
Everybody thought internet is going to be popular, but nobody will make any money from it. But I thought it's just a matter of time.
But his boldest gamble wasn't about technology. It was cultural.
You ordered your Rakuten employees to switch to English or face demotion.
Was a little aggressive.
In Japan's corporate world, the move was revolutionary.
So you're seeing the real payback coming.
Big time.
Happy New Year! 明けましておめでとうございます。
Mickey Mikitani has led Rakuten since founding the company nearly 3 decades ago. At the start of every new year, Rakuten executives from around the world gather at its Tokyo headquarters for the annual gathering known as the Asakai. It's a moment to reflect on the business and set the strategy for the year ahead. And it all begins here, inside this red brick building, where the multi-billion-dollar company first took shape. Just steps away stands the Atahago Shrine. Every year, Mikitani and his leadership team climb its 86 stone steps, known as the Steps to Success. It's a tradition that has come to define how he starts the year.
The first very small office happened to be in front of the shrine. So we started to come here. At that time, this shrine was not that popular for New Year's ceremony. But now so many people, and because they have seen the growth of Rakuten Group, I think.
So this has always been a yearly tradition for you.
Exactly, make it sure that we make the pledge for the year.
And you want to kick it off on a good start, right?
Exactly.
Start off on a good note.
Refresh yourself and fresh start.
The ritual ends with a group photo. And then the media scrum, where Mikitani now stands as one of Japan's most influential business voices. But rewind more than 2 decades, and the picture looked very different. When he first launched Rakuten Ichiba, few believed the internet could build a real business.
At that time, many people were not so convinced internet business is going to be very profitable, very big. But I was convinced that eventually it was going to come. So I thought about many different businesses, and I decided to go for B2B2C marketplace. At that time, what we call internet shopping mall was not really considered as a successful business model. Almost all the internet shopping mall were failing, but we had a different idea.
Your different idea was to focus on small merchants. What was the response from these small merchants, these small businesses?
Well, nobody was actually really buying so much from the internet. So it was really difficult to convince them to join our platform. Some of the merchants even didn't have a personal computer. They didn't have internet access.
It sounded like you have to educate them.
We went to the electronic shop with the merchants, buy a personal computer, bought a digital camera, and we taught everything to them. No, it was fun, but it was very difficult.
Japan in the late 90s wasn't exactly known for digital risk-taking or online ventures. Did you ever worry you were building something that the market wasn't ready for?
Everybody thought internet is going to be popular, but nobody will make any money from internet business at that time. But I thought, it's just a matter of time.
And he was right. More than 2 decades later, Rakuten Ichiba remains the company's biggest revenue driver. But competition is intense from Amazon Japan and Yahoo Japan Shopping. To stay ahead, Rakuten built an ecosystem, rewarding customers with loyalty points across its services, from credit cards to travel and mobile.
Is there anything out there that could pose a threat to your e-commerce business?
No, I think it's kind of proven. Of course, we have a very serious competitors, but it's very different service. So we are aggregation of 60,000 entrepreneurs selling many different kinds of products. Of course, some are the big companies. So the approach is totally different. we focus on recreating very good experience for the people, again, who are interested in not only buying product, but wanted to have a very good experience.
You did something that seemed a cultural revolution in traditional corporate Japan. You ordered your Rakuten employees to switch to English. Within 2 years, all face demotion.
It's a little bit aggressive.
What? It was very aggressive. What prompted the move?
Internet is global competition and it's connected world. So sooner or later, we will face international competition domestically and outside of Japan too. So we have to benchmark our global competitors, not our domestic competitors. And we have to learn from best practices from all over the world. The second is how to secure talented engineers. And just hiring the pool from Japanese engineers is quantitatively not big enough. For example, now 70% of engineers we hire in Japan are non-Japanese. Most of them do not speak Japanese. And then, I just want to make it sure that everybody can communicate with one single language. We cannot do it with Japanese, we cannot do it with Chinese. It has to be English.
How painful was the process making English the company's official language? Did you receive any opposition? Did people think you were crazy at first?
It took much longer than 2 years, to be very honest. We adjusted our deadline several times and helped the people who are struggling as much as we can. For example, at the very end, I told them, in the morning, they can come to office and just study English and can start working from after lunch. We helped them to go to some English schools, and almost every single person cleared our target goal for standard test.
So you're seeing the real payback coming.
Big time.
Mikitani's next big bet was telecom. In 2019, he launched Rakuten Mobile, rolling out full-scale service just a year later. But instead of building a conventional network, Rakuten tore up the playbook, creating the world's first fully virtualized cloud-native mobile system, deployed at a national scale.
It was a huge risk you took. No one has ever done this. There were performance issues at the start. You faced huge criticism from your investors. Your mobile business suffered through years of losses, but you stuck to your guns. Why?
Well, it has been always like that. From the day when we started e-commerce business, when we bought our online travel agent, when we started credit card, even the introduction of the point program to the internet, everybody has been always skeptical.
You had a gut feeling.
I had a gut feeling, and of course, not just gut feeling. Not only gut feeling, I had a scientific proof in the lab that it works. And many people say, even if it doesn't work in a lab, if you go to the real world, it is not going to work. But I say, no, it's going to work. It's going to work. Maybe it's going to be a little bit lower performance at the beginning, but we can improve it. Now our network performance is way better than our competitors.
5 years after its 2020 launch, Rakuten Mobile is reaching an inflection point. In December 2025, it crossed 10 million subscribers, a major milestone in Japan's fiercely competitive telecom market. But the company still trails industry giants like NTT Docomo, KDDI, and SoftBank. Still, the heavy investment is starting to pay off. In 2025, the mobile unit delivered its first full-year EBITDA profit, a key milestone in its operating performance. And as Rakuten looks ahead, Mikitani is turning to the next frontier, artificial intelligence, though he's not convinced it will replace every job.
If you think about human brain versus internet network, human brain has 8 billion brain cells, connect with 2 trillion synapse network, and it's digital. Obviously, if you think about how many computers are connected, how many semiconductors are connected to the internet, it's billions. So eventually, it should make sense that not all of what we do can be replaced by AI. But I'm not 100% full believer of AI will be able to replace what we do. We can do 90% of what we do. Sometimes 90% is good enough.
To what extent will AI also make a big transformation on your bottom line?
Our bottom line is huge. If you think about already we have achieved 10% operational efficiency improvement utilizing AI last year. We're going to do 10% next year. But if you can improve our operational efficiency by 20%, marketing efficiency by 20%, I think we will be able to maybe increase our profit by 50-60% easily.
Mikitani didn't just build a Japanese tech company, he set out to turn Rakuten into a global brand. And one of his most unconventional strategies was sport. It started at home with baseball's Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, then expanded into football with Vissel Kobe, before going global with FC Barcelona and NBA's Golden State Warriors.
Well, I think sports is very important thing for the community. It's like a drama without a scenario, right?
It's like drama without a scenario.
Yeah, it will bring emotion, sometimes bring people together. So I think if we can use sports to represent our philosophy. So we are very picky about who we partner with. It's obviously a very efficient marketing to get recognition of our brand domestically and globally.
Do these high-profile sports brands give you the visibility, the global visibility
Of
that
course.
Rakuten needs?
Yeah. Many people recognize Rakuten because of their past Barcelona sponsorship. Golden State Warriors main sponsor. That all these people in the Silicon Valley recognize us because they always came to the Chase Center and they see Rakuten everywhere.
You've been called a disruptor. You've been called a contrarian. Some even call you a maverick. It sounds like you enjoy being a troublemaker and you really like to shake things up. Is that true?
No. I don't think so. I do not hesitate to go against conventional wisdom. Even if there is some kind of negative reaction to whatever we do, whatever we say, if we believe we have justice, we are not going to be shy.
I've been doing some digging and talking to people. Is it true that Hiroshi Mikitani is the sort of person where if you tell him not to do it, he will go ahead and do it anyway?
I don't think so.
No?
No. For example, the mobile business, I had a chance to get into the mobile business several times in the past. But I discussed with many people and then we passed.
As the visionary and founder and entrepreneur of over 70 businesses within Rakuten Group, how exactly do you lead your 30,000 employees?
It's the job of the leader is basically stick the flag. Okay, this is what we want to do, business-wise and also socially.
So that social mission is number one priority. What about making money?
Making money is a means to do it.
It's not the ultimate objective for you?
No. It's not for me. For shareholders, yes. And I work for shareholders, so I have to do it. But obviously, you need to make a continuous investment. If you just want to maximize our short-term profit today, I can do it immediately, right? Now investing in the future, maybe we can double our profit easily. But that's not good.
So what do you tell your shareholders? Wait, the payback is coming?
No, it's already coming. The value is going up. If you think about total market cap, including debt, I think it's way over when we started Rakuten mobile business. People who believe in it. People who want to have a short-term profit, maybe they should buy other shares.
What inspires you? What drives you?
I really believe, again, the power of entrepreneurs. Japan has an institutional power, but not enough entrepreneur power. So the goal is to reprove Japanese entrepreneur company can become globally respected company. If we can achieve this goal, that's going to have a huge influence into the Japanese people.
And where do you see the future of Rakuten? Where do you see the company 10 years from now?
So Rakuten is going to be the new generation leader of Japanese private sector. Give the money back to the society, but we're going to keep growing. Right? If you think about the growth of Japanese GDP in US dollar basis, we are negative for the last 20 years. Despite the fact that we are making best car, best cameras, best many manufacturing machines, very good pharmaceutical product. Why is that? It doesn't make sense. So I hope we will be able to change the direction.
Mickey-san, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
talking to me.
Thank you very much.